Hi future millionaires, I'm John, 23 years old and over £70,000 in debt. Today, I've come to see James Sinclair, a multi-millionaire businessman with a portfolio worth over £20 million, and he's going to give me some advice on how to get out of debt and start making some serious money.
Yeah, so I'm James Sinclair. I'm a UK business owner. I've got a lot of debt, but I call it good debt. Millions of pounds worth of good debt. Debt that when you borrow money, you're making money. So I've always borrowed to make. I'd never borrow to live. I've got about 600 staff, a chain of day nurseries, visitor attractions. I make teddy bears and toys and now ice cream. Normally, we would turn about £1 million a month in our businesses, and we make about £1 million a year in profit. I've got a lot of commercial property as well. Started when I was a teenager as a kids entertainer magician, and that's me.
I think what people would like to know is how much are you worth now, if you know that figure off the top of your head, personally?
Yeah, I would say the value of all my assets, and the businesses and the property, say 20-ish million.
Wow.
And then I've probably got about 5 million of debt.
Okay.
Mortgages, good. Long-term debt, yeah. You know, it could be worth more than that. It might be worth less than that, depending on the value of the property. I've got a lot of commercial properties, residential properties, and a business that generates profits now. I hate having money in the bank.
Yeah.
What would freak me out is having £1 million, £2 million, £10 million in the bank. I want my money to work for me. Well, I take calculated risks and make sure that everything I do is multiple revenue streams that fold into my existing empire. So, we just bought a zoo, but we've already got a farm park, animal adventure park. We've just bought a sand art company that's going to fold into Teddytastic. We bought an ice cream company. We already spend £250,000 a year on ice cream. It's going to supply all of our businesses. There we go. Do you want a piece of pizza? Yeah, look at this. Yeah.
Do you feel successful now, or do you feel like you've still got a long way to go? If someone said to you, are you a successful person? What comes to mind immediately?
I'm always disappointed with what I've achieved. I feel like I should have done a lot more.
Right. Do you feel like you're behind? Or where you should be?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
35.
I think you're doing all right, to be honest. But
I know that.
Isn't it?
I do know that. But when you can do things, I think most human beings don't work to their full potential. I think I could have done what I've done so far by the age of 25. There's a couple of mistakes I made. I should have employed an accountant when I couldn't afford it. I think that's probably one of the best investments, like a full-time accountant. I mean, I've always had accountants and bookkeepers, and when you get a good accountant work for you, they're free. They make you so much money.
At what level are we talking here? Like how much, say, turnover would you be needing?
Yeah, when I was at 2.5 million turnover, that sort of level, I should have employed a 70, 100 grand a year accountant and not paid myself to have that, because I think they would have got me to triple the size in a couple of years if you find the right person.
So where I'm at with my businesses at the moment, I mean, I'll just give you the quick overview.
So you're a business owner yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing three things. Well, the main thing used to be rent-to-rent serviced accommodation, which, to be honest, is a commoditized business. So there's only so far I really want to take that, but I want to you get it to a point where it's making enough cash flow to at least get me out of debt. And we're looking to scale that up, at least double the number of properties in the next few months. The second thing is my YouTube channel, which again is for my own personal brand, similar reasons to you. Having an audience of any size is always valuable, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when you're not scammy. So I could have done get rich quick schemes. But I don't believe in that stuff. So that's why I won't do it. But not everyone wants to.
Exactly.
No, what's the magic pill? I want the magic pill.
That's what people need to hear. That's not what they want to hear.
Yeah.
So I've got my service accommodation business, YouTube / personal brand called Debt to Millionaire. And the third thing I'm working on is a tech business. Now it's going to sound like I'm quite thinly spread, but so I have a computer science degree, commercial experience as a software developer, and then I sort of put that on the back burner while I did this property thing.
Yeah.
But now I've sort of teamed up with one of my mates who has another tech company, and then he's had another great idea. So we're now working on that together. So I'm working on developing
like a SaaS software as a service.
Yeah, so working on a platform. I'm developing the MVP at the moment.
Can you make loads of programs that you're good at all that?
I basically could make any software you could imagine, given enough time. I know, so you're probably thinking, why bother with any property stuff?
Well, yeah, I would build a software company, then sell it, then buy all the property I want.
And there you go. That's kind of the new plan now.
I mean,
'Cause I've been
it's in fact, it's glaringly obvious to me that you should do that.
yeah.
Hear me out here. You've got two forms of income: fast income, slow income, or fast pounds and slow pounds. Property. What you're trying to do is take a slow pound asset, property, and generate cash flow from it, fast pounds, in a situation where you're controlling the property but not owning the property. That's why everyone's doing rent to rent stuff. The time, effort, and energy that goes into it, does it actually make as much money that people think? And
And then it's no, it definitely does not compared to what people hype it up and say it is going to make.
you know, I'm a man that believes in property, but I want to control property. I want to own property.
exactly.
And if I want to generate cash flow and build serious personal wealth, you do that from business. It's business first, property second.
Do you not consider the rent to rent a business in its own right then?
No, because it can be taken away from you if the landlord has a change of heart.
Right, yeah.
If I had a software degree and everyone wants to buy software, I mean, come on. Yeah, more and more software is going to be needed to be created. And if you think you're really good at it and can do most things depending on time, property obviously makes so much money. And there's so many people wealthy from property, but that's slow pound building assets
That comes after,
that
like you
will
say.
be strong and will last forever. But you need to generate cash flow to get that going.
Back to your business then. Which part of your business group, because you've got a mini empire, which aspect of that makes you the most money?
Probably our childcare business, because it's very predictable and regulated income. Our day nurseries spin about £1 million a quarter quid. But we've got other businesses that are not making money at the moment.
Yeah.
Like when we start new stuff, we have to support them. Like when we start new day nurseries for the first 2 years, they don't really make us any money. I am much stricter now on if I don't see that we can turn something round easily within a year, then we would let it go. I don't really do things for money. It's really strange. And
What's the motivation then at this
I
point?
just like building carousels, train sets, dinosaur parks. If you look at all my stuff, it's, I like family brands and I like those wholesome, good feeling brands. They're not the most super profitable. It's not a SaaS product that could be life changing, that could be AIM listed, but our cash flow is regular. But if you create a SaaS product like you could, like in 5 years, if you get it right, you could go to the next level, couldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
But that's not going to happen in leisure and family brands, but it'll always be there. People will always buy ice cream. They'll always want days out and childcare,
All right, so I've got the next question was going to be, what was your motivation for getting into business in the first place then?
No,
So
yeah, I
business,
mean, I
any
started
business.
when I was like 14 doing kids' parties and magic shows. And I think I did that because at the end of the day, I wanted money. My mum died when I was very young. I left home, she had nothing, and I just thought, right, let's go. I was very lucky at 16, 17. I was earning like between £1,000 and £1,500 a week. I invested that into a property deposit and then another one. And
So you didn't have any outside funding to start with, or
no one would need it if
Yeah.
they build a profitable business.
Yeah, at 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
But anyway, if I was 15 now, I think I could make £1,000 a week literally sitting in my pants and selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. What I would do is I would find a niche where there's a hungry audience. Really important, this. That's how you quickly turn money, when you find a hungry audience. So there's 3 levers to building a successful business. Average customer value, making sure people spend a good value with you, how much they transact with you, and what's their lifetime value. Give you an example. Childcare, one of my businesses. The average customer value is £1,000 a month.
Right.
They're transacting with us between 3 and 4 times a week, i.e. bring their children to us. So because they're seeing us a lot, the customer doesn't become fickle. If someone only needs to buy from you once, they could become fickle by seeing what else is in the marketplace. The lifetime value of that child being with us is 4 years. So the lifetime value of the customer, £40,000 on average.
What's the biggest goal that you have to achieve by the end of this year?
Get all my businesses open. There was 4 things I wanted to do. Move house, 20,000 YouTube subscribers, buy Lee Valley Animal Adventure Park, get it over the line, and buy Rossi ice cream. 2 have been achieved. The other one, the house one, I'm sure will be achieved. And if I can get 20,000 YouTube subscribers by December, that'd be great. But for the business, I want to get it past 15 million of revenue, but I just need coronavirus to have a day off for me to make that happen now.
I'm sure you'll hit your 20,000 subscribers. What's your view on a brick and mortar? Or,
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
No, I'm all right.
What's your view on brick and mortar and physical service businesses compared with entirely digital solution businesses?
I think business. Look, right. Bricks and clicks, I think, is the way to go. Bricks and clicks. People don't want to they want experience-based retail. People will always want to go to places like Harrods, Selfridges and the Apple Store. When have you seen the Apple Store quiet? No. People want experience-based retail. I only do mergers, acquisitions and new stuff, day-to-day stuff. I've never cashed up any of my businesses. I've never done any maintenance and never locked up,
Never locked up?
Even from the age of 18, 19, 20, 21.
Who did?
Just employed someone. I employed my first member of staff at 17. By the time I was 20, I had 23 staff.
Wow. And that makes me feel behind. You're saying you feel behind at age 35?
And so you needed to find £1,500 a month to pay someone part-time to help you out. You've only got to find £1,500 a month. You haven't got to find the whole £20,000. And people think about the annual salary rather than the monthly cost.
Can you stop thinking about business when you go home?
No.
I don't know what your family situation is.
I'm a workaholic. Yeah, I'm a workaholic, mate. I mean, it's really tough. It's just who I am. Yeah, I love being a dad, and I love my family, and I love my children and my partner, and we're good. But yeah, I get excited about it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a joy to make ice cream, build attractions, and
can't wait to get back the next day to get on.
Yeah, I'm literally found out it's Bank Holiday Monday. I'm like, oh no. No.
Do you not work on bank? Well, I'm sure you still have work to do though, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but I try and be with my family on those days as well. I love being a dad, but you know, I love my work. You know, and I do have stressful times. Don't get me wrong, I do, but I just love work.
Do you ever get it where you're sat with your partner and your kids, and they're talking to you, but your mind is thinking about something else?
Yeah. And you've got to work hard on being focused on being in the present. And I'm an introvert as well, as I probably would think I'm an extrovert because I can perform. But I don't like parties, I don't like social settings, and I don't like small talk.
Don't like parties. What's the company called?
Yeah, I know. I know this is a joke. I always say if I can entertain, I can't just sit and talk to people about the weather and you know, how are you and mood hoovers. I just have no time for it. You know, I've got to try and get better at that. But I find it really hard. Like if I was going to a social setting, like I need to be around interesting people that challenge my mind. But that's just because I'm a weirdo.
I think that's it. It's about, do you find the people you're talking to interesting? Because if you're at a party and it was full of business people,
yeah, I probably love it.
Completely different then, isn't it?
Yeah, not just because they're business people, but people that are genuinely interesting.
Intellectually stimulating, let's say.
I would say that is probably, more it.
What's the long-term goals? Like, what would you consider successful? What would your life look like in, say, 10, 20 years?
I'd rather have people go, oh my God, I love Rossi ice cream, or I loved Marsh Farm. Right. We had great family memories from there, because you look back and people really care that you've made £1 million profit, or 2 million, or 10 million, or 100 million, but they remember the memories, don't they?
I mean, moving on from that really touching subject, let's go into the more straight up. What do you invest in, and what don't you invest in, and why not?
I don't invest in stocks and shares. I think I made a big mistake on that now when I look back and read stuff. I just invest in property. I've always thought if I've got extra cash, invest it in your own companies. I still believe that if you're an entrepreneur. But if I was 17, 18, 19, 20, should I invest £100 every single month in stocks and shares? I think you should. As long as it's good, safe companies, Disney, Tesla, Facebook, Apple, and got to understand why stocks and what companies go up and why they go down. I think that probably then will make you a better business owner as well, because you'll be going into business thinking like an investor. One of the things I always talk about, thinking like an investorpreneur. Done loads of videos on my YouTube channel on that subject, and my Entrepreneurs University, where I teach all this stuff.
Soft plug.
It was a soft plug, wasn't it? Yeah. You only know so much about what you know so much about. And so that's one of the main reasons I've not done it. If I wanted to do it, I'd have to read 10 books, go to a load of seminars on it, really get it round my head before I did it. Whereas I don't need to do that on property. I've got all my rules on property investing. I've got all my rules on the return on investments and how to buy them, how to structure them, where to borrow the money from to do it, how much deposit I need, the lawyers that will help me do it, the accountant's advice. And that's powerful, isn't it?
Do you have any sort of daily habits that you attribute any of your progress to?
Yeah, daily habits. Waking up naturally and don't set an alarm, although I do see the benefits of getting up really early, but I prefer to clear my head of a night time. I just don't like the rushing around in the morning. I just think that's not a life, is it? If you want to stay in bed till 11 o'clock, that said, I wake up about 6:30, 7 o'clock, but I stay in bed and do my emails till about 8 o'clock, then trundle on downstairs. I'm not a pot. I don't have all the habits that everyone would say that you should have, no. I will not do menial tasks, and I will not surround myself by mood hoovers.
By what? Mood hoovers?
People
putting you down?
Yeah, they just will not entertain my life. And if I feel a meeting's going on too long, I'll just say, yeah, I'm off now. Probably am actually very strict with my time on what I do. It has to be leveraged tasks. And I won't manage people because I'm not very good at it. So get other people to manage people.
So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel to watch me crush this debt and start making some serious money. Thanks for watching. This is Debt to Millionaire. Make it happen.
If you create a SaaS product like you could, like in 5 years, if you get it right, you could go to the next level, couldn't you?